Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a role that is absolutely critical to pretty much every company's success, but it often goes completely unnoticed. We're talking about the purchasing manager. These are the ultimate deal makers, the ones balancing cost, quality, and delivery, all on a knife's edge.
But to really get a feel for how much weight this role carries, let's just start with a question. What if the fate of a huge new product, and maybe even the company's entire reputation, all came down to one single high-stakes conversation? Well, for a purchasing manager, that's just another Tuesday.
So let's dive right into a scenario. I want you to picture a really tense meeting room. On one side of that table, you've got the purchasing manager, and you can just feel the weight of the whole company's expectations sitting right on their shoulders.
Now, their goal is crystal clear. They have to secure a massive order of 8-megapixel cameras. The company's about to launch a brand new phone, and you know how it is. The market is screaming for better cameras. This one component, it's completely non-negotiable.
But of course, there's a huge problem. Their trusted longtime supplier just went out of business, leaving them totally in a bind. A new deal has to be struck, like right now. And it can't just be any deal, it has to be perfect. The price, the quality, the delivery schedule, everything is on the line.
That one tense moment right there is the perfect window into the world of a purchasing manager. So let's zoom out a bit. In this explainer, we're going to explore why this role is so strategic, we'll peek into what a typical day looks like, uncover the skills you actually need to succeed, and then look at how they handle all the stuff that inevitably goes wrong.
Okay, so the very first thing to understand is that this job is so much more than just clicking Add to Cart. It is a deeply strategic position with a direct line to the company's bottom line. And to really get why it's so important, we need to meet the key players. First up, you've got vendors. Now, a vendor is simply any person or company that sells something. It could be anything, really, from the paper for the office printer all the way up to those high-tech camera components from our story.
And then you have suppliers. This term is really similar, and honestly, you'll hear it used interchangeably with vendor all the time. A supplier is who provides a company with the things it needs to operate, whether that's raw materials for a factory or finished products for a store. They are the absolute lifeblood of the supply chain.
So, here's the crucial part. A purchasing manager's entire mission, their whole world, revolves around these four things. Their job is to get the right product at the right price with the right quality delivered at exactly the right time. You miss on any one of those, and believe me, things can go sideways really, really fast.
If you want a simple way to think about it, it's like this. A purchasing manager is basically the ultimate personal shopper, but instead of buying shoes for a celebrity, they're buying essential goods for a multi-million or even billion-dollar company. The stakes are just a little bit higher.
All right, let's move on and see how this all actually plays out day to day. What does a typical day even look like? Well, it's this constant cycle of reacting to what's happening right now and planning for what's coming next.
The day usually kicks off in the email inbox, just sorting through a flood of updates, new requests, and potential problems. Then, it's a quick pivot to figuring out what the company needs right now. Are we running low on something on the factory floor? After that, it's straight into the negotiation trenches with suppliers. The afternoon might be more hands-on, maybe physically inspecting new deliveries, making sure everything is up to snuff. And the day usually wraps up by looking ahead, placing future orders to stop the next crisis before it even begins. So what kind of person actually thrives in this kind of environment? It really takes a unique blend of different skills to succeed as a purchasing manager. It's not just about haggling for the best price, it's about managing relationships and solving incredibly complex problems.
Yes, success here demands a fascinating mix of abilities. You have to be a really sharp communicator in those negotiations and an absolute master of organization to juggle countless orders at once. You're a problem solver when a shipment gets delayed and a super quick decision maker when a new opportunity pops up. Of course, strong math skills are a must for budgets, and maybe the most underrated skill of all is patience, because in the world of supply chains, delays are gonna happen.
But beyond all of those practical skills, there's a foundational quality: integrity. A purchasing manager is literally entrusted with the company's money, and that means you have to always do what's best for the company, not for yourself. Being honest and responsible, that's what builds the trust you need to do this job well.
And trust me, things do go wrong. So for our final section, let's look at the daily challenges and the tough calls that are just an unavoidable part of the job. A great manager isn't someone who avoids problems, they're someone who is a master at solving them.
And this right here perfectly illustrates a classic dilemma.
Do you go with the low-price supplier to save a bunch of money, even if their quality is a little iffy and delivery is slow? Or do you choose the high-quality, super reliable supplier that's going to hurt the budget? There's almost never a perfect answer, and the manager has to weigh these kinds of trade-offs every single day.
And the firefighting does not stop with that one decision. A single late delivery can shut down an entire production line. A box of damaged items creates a whole new headache. A sudden price hike can throw the whole budget into chaos. And all of this is happening while you're trying to manage conflicting demands from different departments. It is truly a masterclass in crisis management.
So let's bring it all together. The crucial takeaway is this. A great purchasing manager is so much more than just a buyer. They are a guardian. They protect the company's money by finding the best value. They protect its time by making sure operations run smoothly. And they protect its reputation by guaranteeing quality.
And that really just leaves us with one last thing to think about. In this high-wire act of balancing cost and risk, with that constant pressure to save money while at the same time avoiding total disaster, what do you think would be the hardest part of that job for you?